Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Crucible League 3.21. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys my ritual strat. I'm going to be going over two strategies involving ritual, and I want to go over how the vessels work and how ritual works. Enjoy the video. Before we get into anything, I want to quickly explain this part though. So you have these ritual vessels, and it says you can store the monster slain for the first time from a completed ritual for future use. You cannot use it on a ritual that's opened with a blood-filled vessel though, and you don't know what a blood-filled vessel is yet, but you can, when you store it, so at the end of a ritual you can right click this and left click it onto the ritual, and it'll store the monsters that were absorbed into the ritual and you refought in the ritual, and then you can actually like start a ritual and fail it, and still you're able to capture it with all of the monsters at the initial. So one of the best things is to have as many monsters at your ritual as possible at the start. You kill them all, and then you do a really juicy ritual and you store them, and all the monsters are also in the future rituals of the map. So you do the juiciest ritual first in order, and then you also then store them, and you can use these in future maps as scarabs that guarantee a ritual. As you see here, it says, can be used in a personal map device alongside a map to add the monster stored from a previous ritual to a ritual in that map. And then the ritual is guaranteed. You don't need a sextant. You don't need chance to get ritual. This guarantees a ritual like a scarab. And you just put this in like with scarabs. And then final concept is the blood-filled vessel wants a lot of monsters at the ritual. So for this, we came up with a tree. And we actually came up with this last season, but we actually got to implement it this season and get to use it. Okay, so the idea of the tree is grand design. This node right here, if you don't know what this node does, I'll go show it in game. I have a picture of my tree because I'm not using it anymore. So small atlas passives don't do anything, but then the maps have 1% pack size per allocated notable atlas passive skill. So imagine all the smalls doing nothing, but all of those notables that we have selected, like right here, these four in the middle is 4% pack size. This is 5% pack size. This is another 3%. Every notable is 1%. So a lot of, just stack the notables, get all the stuff you want. So then we just did shrines, ritual, deli, and strongbox. And then you don't need the small passives, so you save a bunch of points. You save a ton of pathing points, and that's where we're able to get the extra deli in it too. So we get the deli to last longer, you get the deli to tick up one wave when you kill the boss, and this strat is rushing the boss, and then, you know, making juicy rituals and storing them for future rituals to reuse the vessels as blood-filled vessels. So for this first strat, when you're just filling them, you would want technically really juicy maps, so like high pack size, 40 pack size, or you can use unidentified maps. You roll them, and then when you val them, they don't re-roll the modifiers, they just go unidentified corrupted sometimes, and then you can use this sextant for 20% pack size in unidentified maps, so extra pack size, so you're getting really juicy monsters to store for future vessels rituals. So then final thing would be you grab the map. I wanted to show this, and so the 40 pack size, and then my example here is I was using polished div, polished ambush, polished reliquary, rusted elder, so some extra elder monsters too, and then sextants. How I would roll these was you grab your sextants, your thing, and well, we'll assume not an ID'd for this one, just a normal one. So I hit Gloom Shrine, so I don't need to add a shrine. And my last sextant would be Ritual. You actually need the Ritual sextant because you're not forcing Ritual with the blood-filled vessels yet. And the final sextant, your map contains ritual altars. So this will guarantee the ritual, and then because your tree with that has the occult devotion, you'll have the 4 rituals, and you'll have the re-rolling 2 times. And you'll have the other stuff. You just won't have the small passives, but you have tons of big pack size, so lots of monsters for these rituals. It's really nice, and that's why I filled up all of these vessels. So I have I had more. I had a whole extra stash full, and I've been using them, and then I'll show you how I actually use them. Okay, so after that page, I made this page. So got rid of grand design because I don't need the pack size because we've already stored the rituals. And then I got rid of a lot of the deli because I needed the extra points for the ritual. So we have to take all the extra smalls because we're not killing them anymore. So we're buffing up our strongbox, buff up our altar pack size. We can get all the extra quantity in the middle that doesn't get destroyed by the grand design. We get the extra effect of the modifiers through the top bar. Really sick. So we're getting really juicy maps again. again, and then we actually get to take the rest of the ritual stuff. So for example, when you reroll, an item can have a 0.5% chance to just be free, and it shows up in order of cost. So the one, it'll show up on the right, free. It'll be like obvious. And then you can also get this increased chance of ritual altars with special rewards, which is nice. And we take this side to get the reduced cost of deferring favored. Pretty good. And this tree gets everything, fits everything, and then we get the better rituals, like the special rewards and stuff, and the extra quant and the extra modifiers for all the juicy ritual vessels we already stored. And then for this, so I wouldn't need the ritual sextant, obviously, and because I already have the gloom shrine, we're good. I would add a gloom shrine or a resonating shrine if there wasn't one as this 4th sextant, but we'll just roll it. We hit unID'd, so technically I could just run an unidentified map for this. It works. And then yeah, there's my ritual. So then I'll show you guys how I do this too. So let's grab an unID'd map. And then I'll actually show you how a map works. So yeah, put in my 3 scarabs. These are the 3 I'm using now. I took out Elder for when I'm actually using ritual. And you put a vessel in, and then the vessel guarantees the ritual now. And I'm choosing ambush because I'm strongbox. And strongboxes get counted for the ritual. It's a good addition of monsters. The strongbox, the shrines, all that stuff is really good for it. So then I just play the map normally. One of the best tips though is rush the map boss to not get map boss altars. That's always a thing. And then I pick quantity and stuff a lot so that I get the quant to affect my Crucible and my ritual and all the packs from the influence. So then we have a bitter ritual for this. It does laser beams that do cold degen, so I'm going to stand behind this wall and hide. And then I don't have to worry about it. I do have to worry about these monsters. But then we're headhunter stacking, which is really nice with the ritual. Minion kills count for my headhunter, and I've been finding a lot of god touches in rituals, and the god touches actually get consumed by the headhunter, and I get to use the touch effect. Like I'll have an innocence, or I'll have Shikari or whatever. I'll be right back. The way ritual works is it slowly reveals it, and it'll show all of it within 3 rituals. So we have to do some more to see what the rest of the loot is, and it actually applies your item filter. And you can see that my item filter is really good, that all of this is blanked out, showing you not even worth to check it. Okay, let's show you number 2. We have a temp bubble on, which is pretty cool. Everything's action speed slowed in the circle, and whatever. And then I have a pride aura for allies deal extra fizz damage from my headhunter, and I got soul eater, and I got a precision aura for extra crit. This is from the headhunter. So the headhunter buffs do affect my minions, but only through auras and stuff. And like I got berserk, so I'm going faster, and I take less damage. I have increased damage, take reduced damage. It's really sick. Let's get the rest. So you can see I just hide off to the corner until everything's spawned, and then I come in and clear it. So you can slowly check it as it gets revealed too, or you could just wait for the full page to reveal. It doesn't matter. Alright, another ritual, so we can just hide behind this wall so we don't get bittered again. Pretty nice. And I'm soul eating 200 stacks. You can see how many monsters are inside rituals. So it's actually a pretty good idea to put incubators on when you're doing ritual, because you get so many monsters. So many monster kills. I'm at 1.7 million already. Blight, you barely get any compared to this. Blight in maps is good, but Blight maps doesn't give you a lot. So yeah, we got perfect fossil, stack deck, and then the way I would do this is I'd usually get the last points. I might re-roll this page while I'm in the last ritual. It doesn't really matter, but then I like to see how many points I have before committing to anything. Alright, so then the final one, I got divination card duplication right into the bitter ritual, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to use the stacks of the bitter ritual to do my league mechanic right after, so it's going to be pretty fun. 4,000 ES from the headhunter, pretty good. See, 9 stacks, 11, 13. Shit's sick. It's really nice to have a headhunter or an inspired learning for doing ritual, because of how many rare monsters you spawn. Especially, this is only 1 vessel. I could be using 4. You can actually stack the vessels as scarabs. It still guarantees only 1 ritual, that's the problem. And you just get a juicier ritual. but it's kind of worth it just to separate it and get more rituals, because the vessels are expensive. So then I'm gonna use these 17 stacks at this, since it lasts so long. It should stay. And I'm actually charging up for a magmatic ore. I found out if you have a tier 3 magmatic ore, it's like 900k experience, which is actually a lot. And because it's only 4 million for like a full bar, and the tier 4 magmatic ore is 2 million, so it's like half of an item leveled up. It's actually really good when you know the full like thing. So yeah, I just did a full. It's kept the stacks pretty sick. And then for ritual, I usually like to check the price of things, so I use Awaken PoE trade, and then you take like the value of it and divide it by the points, and you're looking for like 3 to 4 C per 1,000 points. So this is 5 C for 1,600. It's decent. I'll take it. So I defer because I want to keep my points for the future pages. So it takes 1339 to reroll. And then I have only this many points left, and this is with using a vessel, so you might have even less points, and it's an unID'd pack size map, so I had more monsters, so it's better to like make sure you don't waste your points. Gilded Torment's cheap here, and there's nothing else really good, so I'll just defer this and go again. I got Marikath, accuracy, minion crit 92, T2 fractured on a convoking wand. Alright, dude, I'll take it. It's pretty good. And then final page. Val Orb, regen, stack deck. So then I could just take these. You can see the Orb of Horizon got free, and then I could just take these. Easy. Oh, I could have taken Deception Contract. Easy fix. So yeah, deferring is ideal. Deferring is ideal until you're on the last page, and then you should just buy because you can't reroll anymore. And deferring is literally just paying off the item slowly, like the minimum value. You're like a minimum paying, and you're just slowly paying the item off. If you just keep deferring, you'll actually get the item eventually to cost 0, basically 0. But the problem with deferring is you actually paid more for the item over the time. It's just that you didn't have to pay the full cost up front. So deferring is actually good. Except for like the fact that you technically spend more overall. But it's actually good that it helps you get items that you shouldn't be able to afford, or then save points to be able to roll more pages and see more potential good items. Because you're really looking for like the god ones, maybe like 20 C plus, 30 C plus, notables. So now, in conclusion of this, I've seen 2 apothecaries through Crimson Temple already, and rituals giving me a ton of divine orbs. The majority of the loot for this strategy is going to be coming from opening strong boxes of, you're going to get the Arcanist strongbox, Diviner strongbox, the Operative strongbox. You're going to get tons of scarabs, divs, and currency. The double currency, double divs, really fun. So strongbox is going to be huge. The altars is going to be huge. You have to do enough maps for altars to where you see the Divine Orb altar, or else you haven't hit the like RNG yet, okay? That's where the money is in this altar, is hitting that Divine Orb. The rest is just like the generic like Quant or good stuff, but most of it is the Divine Orb, so you have to hit that. And then the ritual, trying to find something notable, something worth quite a bit, like 15 C plus, 20 C plus. Sometimes you'll find pure Divine Orbs. It's really sick. That's how you'll make your money. And I would recommend, when you're running into your map and I tell you to rush the map boss, you probably should also rush the shrines on your way to the map boss, because it's pretty worth it to be able to get like an acceleration shrine or a divine shrine or whatever at the beginning of the map. It's really nice. Snowballs the whole map. And having it at the end would be a waste. Build recap. I updated to a headhunter. So pretty much the build was the 100 div AFK T13 blight, and I added the helmet, where I got the extra life regen, life, and strength, and the extra zombie. So we went from 10 zombies to 11, or sorry, 9 to 10, and then I added the headhunter, and Awaken Multi. So I got Awaken Multi for like 20 divs, and then I got a Headhunter for 120. And so the Headhunter is the strength and dex that I had on my amulet, because all I had as an amulet before this was a +1 with strength and dex. And my old belt was resistances and chaos res, no attributes. So I had to replace basically the combo of attributes and res with the belt and an ami. So I was able to get this. I found +1 zombie, +1 all skills. So this is actually a delve zombie mod. And somebody found it on the ground with +1 all skills. And so what I did is I annulled the prefix, and I hit open prefix, and then I did suffix to prefix, because this was a 6 mod ami. There was nothing you could do, so I had to gamble. So I did suffix to prefix so that I didn't have to gamble again with an annul, and I got mana. So I moved suffix into the prefix with a beast, and I got mana, and I'm like, okay. And then I did one of these nice metacrafts, prefixes cannot be changed. You'd have to keep redoing this, but anyways, then I reforged with chaos, and I hit the worst chaos roll possible, T5, and I said, sure. So I spent 2 divines to do that, and I could redo it. I could do keep prefix and do it again, but whatever, it was enough, because of the 14 chaos, and then I hybrid craft 14 chaos and lightning, and I have enough chaos res now, and my lightning's fine. It's not great, because if I run the map, and I click the altar that deletes my res, I'm going to like just 40 or 30 or something, so I'm taking like triple damage from lightning. It's really bad, but that's why I have the flash 165. We're good, but you don't always have flash, so it's an issue. And then the main thing, the extra zombies, just 1 extra zombie, it's 10% more zombies. You don't need it, it's just some extra damage. There's tons of options. You can go for amulets instead of this. You could just go for a +1 amulet with anything else, or you could just go for a +1 zombie and anything else, or it could have one of these, you could have the zombie fractured. You don't need this though, and you could just go ashes. You could go a bunch of different amulets. You can go generic rare amulets. There's many options. Ulnatel's Vow, and then yeah, the Headhunter is really sick, and it's mainly just the attributes and then the buffs that are random. So it's not consistent, but it is really, really fun. I actually think it's worth it. And yeah, the +1 zombie craft on the helmet for the extra zombie. Those are the main changes that I've made. I haven't changed much. Oh, one more thing. A viewer gave me this, and a lot of people have been asking me, and I keep forgetting to include in a video, so I'm glad I finally did. A viewer gave me a brutal restraint. He said, put this in the top, and I said, okay. So I put this here, and it says 20 minion damage, 20 minion damage, 20 minion damage. So he gave me a 60 minion damage jewel that also gives dex, and I needed the dex, so I put it in. This is nice. It puts dex on all of these smalls, which is really crazy. And then, yeah, 60 minion damage. So it's kind of like a Fortress Covenant of damage. Well, instead of having block, it has dex. It's actually a pretty good jewel. How would you get this? You have to get the exact one with the exact same number and the exact same in the Kara of Aseneth. There are none like this, so you don't need this. This is just, like, I'm trying to show you that this is just 60 minion damage and dex. You can replace this with jewels that we have, like the minion damage or attack speed or whatever, flat minion damage. You could do, like, there's a bunch of, there's ghastly jewels, there's normal cobalt jewels, there's the unique jewels. You could even do golem jewels if you wanted to add some golems in your build. Like, really, there's even the forbidden jewels. There's so many jewels you could use. You don't have to use this. It's just 60 minion damage, and I could take it out. It's just I'm actually using the dex, and it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. Like where we use this one with just minion res and minion damage. It reminds me of having like 4 mods of minion damage on a jewel. 15, 60's pretty good. It's actually pretty good, dude. So yeah, that's the. Timeless jewels are really powerful. I need to figure out how to filter these and find these perfectly. And some people will usually ask, Ethan, what's your next upgrade? Honestly, while playing, my biggest thing I think about is, well, I could do like minor upgrades, like getting enchants on my wand so they have the 7% AoE, so my auras are bigger. Small stuff like that is really big. Getting the brittle on my boot instead of sapped. There's also, I could recraft this wand because it's actually kind of shit. Imagine having a fracture and then all you have on it is +2. Like, this could be +2 with minion damage as prefix, not crafted, and then I could have the crafted trigger, and having trigger with enough mana does sound really good now that I'm not only blighting, I'm doing the ritual, and having automatic offering is massive, because not only the speed, the attack speed, you know, I'll get better clear, but then also the consuming a corpse so that we get the extra AoE, and also the automatic putting down corpses so that we get the extra damage when there isn't a corpse. It usually works during mapping, but for bossing, when you get to the boss, you don't have a corpse unless there's monsters in the room, and it's better just to be able to put down a corpse right away with a trigger without having to stop to desecrate, which also makes me lose the phase run because I'm phasing, and then whoop, I casted an ability, I lost phasing. Oh, cast an ability, lost phase. Like, it doesn't do that on trigger, so it's really nice combo. And then we have the phase run to auto trigger. Yeah, really. And then I could even start using honestly Mistress of Sacrifice instead of Plaguebringer, because of the offering would be up more often. So I'm really thinking about recrafting this. I just need to make sure that I have enough currency, which I do now, to craft this without worrying about getting unlucky, hopefully. Yeah. Because if you start crafting and you run out of currency and it's your main weapon, that can kind of suck. You kind of brick yourself. So you need to make sure you can finish the craft that you want, or at least end up on something comparable if it's your main gear. Well, thanks for watching my ritual strat. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you've ever done a ritual, hit the like button. And if you guys hit the like button, you made it to this part in the video and you guys did a ritual, hey, hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified of the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Now, I'd like to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys so much for the support. Rico549, David, Stephen with a PH, Stephen with a V, Cynic, Hannes, Lewis, Nicholas, White Wolf, and N8. Thank you guys so much for the support. Bye.